Woodley on the beat.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the $1 Million Convos podcast. On this episode, we have by the name of Demetress Fairman. Now, Demetress is a power plant operator and is also an avid content producer, right? Delving very heavily into investments, mostly local, right, Demetress?
Yeah, man, local.
Mostly local. We're going to leave a link to the description of his videos in the podcast description.
Guys need to check it out.
For now, Demetress, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here.
Respect. And major appreciation for bringing me onto this platform. And as we say, it's a rap session, it's a learning session. We'll bounce knowledge off each other, hopefully get to know the crowd, people get to know me, and we're just here to spread the knowledge.
I'm pretty sure that's future millionaires listening.
That's always the aim, Demetress, trust me. And to have a young man such as yourself engaging in this type of content and sharing the knowledge, that is very promising for our age group. Because, say, if I'm on TikTok, then on Instagram,
Yeah, true, man. I hate that, man.
So to even have a conversation with you and relate on this level, that is truly promising. So without further ado, let's get into who Demetress Fairman is. Now, we didn't have a long talk prior to starting the recording. So give us and the audience a brief introduction as to who Demetress Fairman is.
Well, straight off the bat, just a normal youth in Jamaica that instead of doing the crime, trying to get this thing legal, So my thing about me is that from I was smaller, like young age, my thing is just always figuring how to make my own thing, gaining my own independence. So whether that was from selling snacks in primary school and then sell Captain's Birthday donut at high school, my thing was just always trying to make ends meet by myself because I don't want to put burden on other people. I don't want to put excess burden on my parents because we're Jamaicans and we say, it's rough out there and anything we can do for help people. So basically I have a touch of entrepreneurship when I think I was born with. Apart from that, avid YouTube watcher, like legit watch YouTube more than TV. So it's no surprise that I decided to join the platform. And fitness is a lot of mine. You guys can see when I was on Instagram, constant Cristiano Ronaldo posts. So no surprise there that fitness is a love. And that's what I started YouTube on. But you know that in business, and that is reason why most of us try to do YouTube. We're not really in it for the entertainment. We're in it to share information and also create a business. And fitness wasn't cutting it. Fitness wasn't giving me the momentum that I needed to create a platform. So I went to another love of mine, which people usually judge me for, which was the love of money. And it's so unaware to say,
no man, not on this platform.
No, but here, all right, before we even, and that's a topic I want to touch on, but before we go there, that you wanted to almost independently provide, for yourself. You didn't want to extend a burden upon your family. Is it a case where you were forced to provide for yourself because of your socioeconomic situation, or is that a case where you took the initiative yourself and you did that?
I know. It wasn't a case of what do you call it now? A household that was lacking financially. Everybody has them up and down moments, but I wouldn't call myself necessarily on the lower end of the economical scale. I was basically a middle class citizen, if you would like to say that. But you know that you see things as a teenager or as a child and you want it, the parents say no. So instead of going out there and taking it illegally, you decided to do small business on the side and say, oh, I could sell this. Or it just happened. Like, that was just my first idea. I just sell things and make money. And I don't know if you guys know about Beyblades and them things that like little spinning top things.
man.
My time.
And that's how it started. Like
man.
legit save up a $200 a weekend and go buy Beyblades a shop and them things. So that was where it started. I wanted something. So instead of asking my parents, because once I get one no, I hate that. Like, I get one no, I'm not ask you again. I'm going to try and get it myself.
Okay,
So that's where it started.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So all right. So your journey there kind of propelled you into this space. Now, what was the journey like becoming a power plant operator? Because of course that requires some level of either secondary or tertiary level education. So what was that like getting to the power plant operator? What were the steps you took to actually get there?
All right, so let me just clarify what's a power plant operator for the people that really don't know the area. I work at a power plant, and power plant basically, they are in charge of generation of not creating, because you can't create energy, but generate energy so that you guys can have lights in your households. That is what I basically do. I keep the plant running and I make sure that we get optimal performance in the power plant. So this journey of becoming a power plant operator is either you have a engineering degree, some engineering discipline in order to get into this field. So I studied at the Caribbean Maritime Institute, do 4 years, you get your bachelor's, and then now you would think that you automatically get into a job. But no, we know Jamaica.
We have to pause on that joke there.
Yeah, man. The job out there, wait for him.
Job, wait. Because remember them play this big ad and radio, man. Got a degree from Caribbean Maritime and you will be guaranteed a job. Nothing like that. And it is nothing like that for anybody. You have to go out there and network. I'm learn that. It's a good thing we learned that early, that networking helps, because I did my, work experience at when I did my internship. Well, it wasn't an internship, it was a work experience, because when I went that year, they just canceled the internship. Internship are generally 2 years, where I said, internship done. Just had a work experience for free. So I say, oh, that's no problem. To get your foot in as a engineering student, the best place you can ever start. So I got my experience there for 6 weeks. And when the 6 weeks finish, I legit tell them, say, oh, me continue work here as long as you want, for free. Just to get the experience.
Oh.
Okay. For free.
Yeah, man. Just to get the experience. And that's what I did. I did that for a year. And then after that, I make some good links with the people, talk to people, get to know people, left a resume, just left a good impression, Make sure that you come to work every day and you work. Even skip class. Skip class is just to come to work, because it makes sense. You have the experience and get the papers. That's basically how I see life. You have the experience.
No, finish. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the experience better than papers. That's what I can say.
Then you still end up getting it because you'd finish at school and then you'd end up with the experience to help you get into a job or whatever else you want to do.
Exactly. And that is exactly what happened here. Apart from that, I went to Florida for a couple months and do HVAC, which is basically AC installation and troubleshooting. And with that couple months of Florida, get some money, come back, and enough cushion money to make sure that even if you didn't get the job, you still try gain other skills then, basically.
All right.
So yeah, man, go through.
Yeah. Mr. Fairman, so we hear you speaking about your jobs, but then I saw this recent post from the JC on Instagram. They said that I have 2 jobs. I work my 9 to 5, and then the other is where you start building for yourself.
Yeah.
When did that actually begin?
What, the building process?
Yeah.
For myself?
Mm-hmm.
That starts from That's which exactly? The YouTube or
Just
the
YouTube in terms of
investing?
investing, everything, the other side of you. Because we hear about Demetress, the working person. But Demetress, the person who works for himself.
So everybody want to hear the hustle.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about. So in second year of Caribbean Maritime Fitness, that was the YouTube thing, you know? Everybody know you for the big chest muscle guy walk around the school. And when I started that, I said, well, YouTube will move slow, so let me just sell some supplements in the meantime. So usually on the policy, I just strip and sell protein, walk downtown, a bag full of protein powder and sell downtown, just to create a little hustle on the side. So that I was trying to grow my own little supplement business on the side. But then, you know, customs is a hell of a thing, and customs send up the price and the business just wasn't making any sense.
Jamaica favorite people.
So it just wasn't making any sense, and I decided to put that aside. But I was doing the YouTube thing and saying, yo, I'm tired to see the Americans making so much money and we are not using it the way it should be used. I am not a prank person. I am not a skit person. So that side of YouTube, where most Jamaicans go out of the way for me.
Ask your questions and stuff.
No, that out of the way for me. So that's just me now pursuing YouTube. And then now YouTube was just kind of on the back burner. It wasn't so important. It was a hobby. But what I was really focusing on was stocks on that time. Because one of my friends, we went on work and travel together. And that year, he came back from work and travel. And we were thinking about, oh, we want to buy a car, or we want to buy some car, or some livestock or something, just to generate some money. Because you come back from work and travel, you have a couple thousand US in your pocket, you feel rich. So we decided he was talking about his stocks. And I was saying, you're a rich man, you talk about stocks. And he said, no, man, it's easy, man. Like, just invest a couple thousands with a broker, and him invest in a Carreras, and then every quarter him get like a $5,000. And I said, $5,000?
Just like that.
I said, just like that. I say, so you have your money sitting where you can get back anytime you want and still get more money on it.
So hold on, that was your first conversation or experience talking about the stock market?
Very, very, very first.
And you were how old at that time?
What that? 22?
22.
Around 22, yeah, man. And that was the first time. You always see stocks on TV with ONGMs and everything. It seemed boring. When you actually see somebody that is close to you applying it, it is working, and you're at the same age, you say, you need to get in on this. So that was my first thing.
Yeah, it's relatable. So from that point now to where you are now, how has your investment in yourself and in stocks actually changed your perspective on financial education, and how has that groomed you to become a better person or a more, let's say, a more economically driven person? Because you say you have a love of money, right? You say you have a love of money. Usually criticize you about that. I can't see why people criticize you about that. But at the same time, things like these are necessary, right? Paradigms like these, changes in mindsets like these are necessary for you to become an actual contributor to society. So your introduction to stock market, to the stock market, to where you are now, like, how has that changed your life?
Honestly, let me just spin it this way. If I were to start over from scratch in high school, when I was selling all those banana chips, Captain's Bakery donuts, use that money to buy BlackBerry and PSP. If I were to do that again, trust me, I would have buy some NCB shares back then. I would have been a millionaire right now. Like, that is how much stocks has played a part in my lifestyle, because right now I can't see myself doing anything else with my money. Like, it grew me into a sense that it makes me more mature and it makes me think logical. So it's not the sense where you get a quick money and immediately you want to buy something to put on your car. Yes, I love cars. Yeah, I love car bad. But at the same time, this whole financial mindset and financial literacy, it changes the whole perspective, and it makes you be, to me, a more responsible human being. And not to be sexist or anything, but it makes you become more of a man when you're financially sound or when you're financially literate, because we are expected to be breadwinners, right?
Oh my gosh, you touched on something very deep there.
So
yeah, no, can go there. Remember the conversation that we had before in terms of just as young men overall, saying that a man basically has to build his value. Your value can come from maybe like your wallet or your mind, and both can be important. It depends on how you hold your morals and standards. So you looking at yourself to say that is how you can build yourself. It is very important because people don't want to really admit it, but that is how the society will look at you. You as a remember your age 27?
Yeah, man, 27-year-old.
A 27-year-old. If a girl supposed to see you and meet you now, I'm pretty sure which part you work might be a question.
Yeah.
The main metric would be money. Definitely. Regardless of what that woman wants to say to you, or I want a good get. No, all right, stop. Money is the metric that is used, and sadly enough, it's a metric, the main metric that is used, especially when finding a mate, engaging whether or not this is viable. You understand? Even before emotion, you understand? That has to be a mutual understanding between both partners that, listen, we have to accept that, listen, money is very important to how we're going to live. Of course, it's important to how Demetress has lived. Investing in the stock market now has improved and increased his value. I guess, of course, literally as well, because, your net worth will increase as you invest more into these stocks. So, I mean, it's literal and figurative in both senses. Now, it moves into my next question, Demetress. We don't, especially the younger set of, individuals, Jamaicans, we don't necessarily see stocks the way, let's say, an older person does, right? Holding over time, you see that your wealth is building. We're young now, we don't have much income. We're investing like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, let's say, in stocks. You're not seeing much growth, right? So they're going to look at that, not necessarily objectively, and say, listen, this doesn't make any sense for me, right? Because I can use that $4,000 and do something else with the money than, seeing these small ass gains, right? So what is the argument, or what is the point that you would make to a young person looking to the stock market to provide wealth over the long term?
I know say it's simple though, and most of us, the only thing I forget out of our head when we're talking about this is, don't think about becoming a millionaire overnight, because that doesn't happen. So what they should instead focus on is comparison. Compare a savings account with an investment account. Nobody has problem with you saying you should save. They will take that advice and they will follow it when you say save. But when it comes to investing now, the risk is where some people have a problem with. But if you give them facts, then they will invest. And one thing I love to tell people is that you put your money into a savings account and you're lucky if the bank give you 1% per year.
1% is a lot.
Exactly. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
0.05% is a lot. Trust me.
Exactly. So when I tell them that you would have $5,000 in your account, and if you go next year and say 4,900, don't be surprised. And nobody didn't steal your money. The bank needs money to keep their business going. So that is just what you're being charged. But if you have an investment account, yes, you might lose money, but skin in the game for a long period is guaranteed more returns or better returns on your money than what a bank account, a savings account will give you.
And then I want to get to this next point of a different it's a comparison. What about compounding?
Yeah, man, and that is what who said again? Warren Buffett, seventh wonder of the world, or something of the sort. That compounding.
It was Albert Einstein. You said
Albert
that
Einstein, yeah.
compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's it? Right.
And it's perfectly said, because $500 this day, next year it's going to be $1,000. Next year it's going to be 1,500. And every time that interest goes onto that new balance, the money just keeps getting bigger and bigger without you technically not doing anything to it. Your money legit grow. So I love that factor, and that is why I love, if you guys, I'm not sure if you want to check out the channel, but you can check out the channel plug. And I love dividend investing, and that is why I love dividends, because as soon as I get the dividends, I don't need that cash right now. So I just let that cash belong to the cash that is already existing in the account, and it keeps growing. It keeps growing every year.
So you reinvest the dividends automatically to create that compound growth effect.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And that's I think something that at our age, persons younger than us will not see, because we lack sometimes we lack foresight.
Mm-hmm.
And because we lack foresight, we don't give things time to mature, to compound. And because we can't read the future and it's so uncertain, we tend to make more impulsive decisions, right? So we get a $10,000 now, we spend it on
clocks.
Or clocks, or yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
We like buying liabilities, right? And moving into an era where there's so many companies, not just local companies. You have US companies moving into the almost trillion dollar range, right?
Mm-hmm.
Investing in companies like that,
Mm-hmm.
Apple, Microsoft, right? You have the basis on which you can build wealth, right? Even if you cannot start a company yourself,
Mm-hmm.
that can actually, be valued at those levels, you have the option of investing in those companies here. And Demetress, you have taken that option. You love the dividends. We love the dividend. You understand? So I mean, this conversation in itself, I think, and more conversations like this need to come up. We need to educate our youth. We need to educate ourselves to then educate the youth, isn't it? Because this is a vital part of what it takes to actually, or one path it takes to actually become, financially free. Everybody wants to become financially free. It's like the buzzword, right?
The new hype word, the new trend. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, and everybody wants to be financially free, but not many actually know the steps or how hard it is to actually let go and do it on your own. And that is to kind of spin off and say, yo, we're not telling anybody to quit their day job, we're not tell anybody to just go out there and try to do anything foolishness and think it will be a business. No, because at the same time, we're going to need workers. The economy needs workers. And a person can really be fulfilled in their day job because that is what they love. And nothing wrong with that, Nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, I see financial freedom as being fulfilled. So if you can get up every day and genuinely feel happy to go to work and earn your bread, then that is financial freedom. That is what I see as financial freedom, because you're actually happy earning your bread. Mm-hmm. But if you think that you have a higher purpose, if you want to be the manager of your time and take on that stress, because it is stressful, trust me. Look at this right now, like legit a crunch time at my day job trying to get this done. So it's up to a person if they feel fulfilled doing this type of things.
So
Agreed.
stepping out of this now, Demetress, kind of winding down. What would you say you do in your off time? Like how do you away from the markets, away from work, away from everything? How you kind of chill out and just get back to earth?
Honestly, I was so like boring. But if it is not talking about business to my girlfriend, or my girlfriend legit just say, I'll talk about a business. But if it's not seeing a gap in a market, like today when I'm a brethren trying to fix something on his market, I can't find nothing on YouTube because everything on YouTube is American based and Americans don't use markets, they use Lexus. I'm saying, that's a gap right there. Now you can start a channel right there on Japanese car and blah, 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 like.
That's true.
So that is me.
Viewers.
Exactly, isn't it? That's a whole niche by itself right there.
And Predis, through every complaint, it's a problem, and with every problem, you can associate or find a solution. So even right this, for your bridging right this, or your bridging doesn't even listen to what the people must say, and say, listen, all right, me going to provide a solution. I'm going to be the solution.
Yeah, just put in the work. That's all I mean for the put in the work.
Yeah, man, for you, man. I respect that. Now, your YouTube channel, what does it? Of course, financial education, but specifically, what do you focus on mostly? Is it stock investing strictly, or do you encompass or try to encompass all of financial education?
All right. So when I just started, it's basically my channel is basically based on my interest. So when I just started, it was mostly stocks because that was easily accessible. But as you know, with investing, the more you invest, the more your money grows, and the more you try to seek other income streams, then your risk appetite opens, and your investment appetite opens. So the previous videos on my channel was real estate focus, heavy real estate focus. Right. And it might be a boring topic to some Jamaicans, and it might be a very, very niche because not everybody has that money. But my channel is basically structured around all aspects of investing. So eventually, I want to lead off to stocks. Then I would lead off to some real estate, digital marketing, YouTube.
Is it structured around your investment portfolio then? Is it?
I want to show people what is possible through me. Right. But I don't want to be a medium that just teaches based off regurgitated information. Like my legit want to show you my ups and downs as I invest.
I think that's what's so special about your channel actually. Because just to name a few people, we see Kalila out there doing her thing. We see people like are they in FX? Investor, smart investor. And look at all those videos, and we hear the info, but the way yours resonate so personally to say this is my journey, and you can also do this, and you need to figure out your own journey type of thing. It's just a difference in the perspective, because it's good to hear information from those other channels, but you basically live your info. And
you want to see it applied, right?
Yeah,
like the same thing with Yanni said, like we were talking, and the conversation basically was leading towards you tend to see a lot of hype life, chopper lifestyle on TV. And of course, the younger men are going to want to do that because they see that, that actually work. Like that can actually bring me some money and bring me the girls and bring me the house. Yeah. So if I can be a medium where other people, especially males, my age, younger, or even older, because it doesn't matter when you start in life, it just matters that you start. If I can be a medium that they can look and say, yo, Fairman, do it. We can do it too, because Fairman is the average guy like everybody else. Fairman don't know a big socialite, but have millions of followers or thousands of followers on Instagram. He's a normal guy. He have a 9 to 5. He might try come out of the rat race just like me. So that is, I want to establish some personal vibes with people. So I rap with people, like I'm supposed to can see people, and you don't scared to come up. Like one time I went to the barber shop and this guy, Demetress, what go on? And I say, yo, what happened? You know, just play like you know the person, but you don't know the person. And I must say, yo, you want me start my JMB investing account, and I appreciate the knowledge you put out so far, and I'm glad to find a channel because it come like we are start at the same time.
That's
personal level I want to build with people.
And that's the special thing about it, you know. Especially when you're in service, not just to yourself. When you're in service to the society, you find that you know, people learn very quickly off of you. You understand? Instead of running down the generic content and, you know, I try to be a Yahoo boy. You understand? you produce content like this and you spread it, and people actually absorb it and put it to use. And that is where fulfillment and even your side comes in. Because I'm sure that you feel good when man comes here and say, you know, say, John, brother, you make me do this, you know. You know, say that bring a smile to your face.
But forget all about monetization and just push video and push information and broaden my knowledge, because when somebody come to me, I don't want to say, yo, Virgin, we don't know. I want to say, yo, I don't know yet. But we help you out. A big editor.
Wait, so you edit everything and even the production for you to be edit everything yourself?
Everything.
A big thing, man. A big thing.
Everything. Trust me, yo. People always. That's one thing too, because I don't have that killer personality that people love on YouTube. I have to make sure that I can stand out some other way.
Right.
So I try to have clean visuals, good audio, so that the message can get across. So even if I say, yo, Demetress boring, but at least me hear what I say. Like,
yeah, this card edit the other day that was so like, I don't
yeah, man, I test the camera and I say, oh, this I just put in this in the video because I like it.
Your channel is basically a reflection of your growth, because even in your earlier videos you wouldn't really crack as many jokes. And then as you grow and grow, you see later videos, you become more yourself. You make a little 1 and 2 thing. You know, because maybe some people don't like say you have careers and you know you make a little 1 and 2 joke there.
Yeah, 1 and 2 joke. Like at the end of the day, it's about it's all right. No, this episode again, people judge me for saying things like this because they say you're all about money. But the thing is, it's business, and careers wouldn't reach the point that they are if it weren't about business. And business have a tendency for just be rough, give people the cold shoulders, and go out there and get your revenue or get your money and get your profit.
All right. I personally I'm gonna say disagree, because I don't want to use a with people that say it's not all about the money. No, all right, there is some perspective to that. But you look at everything that is surrounding your life right now. And ask yourself, would it be achieved, or would it have been achieved without money? Right? People always say, yo, listen, money is evil, money is this, money is that, but yet still you put money in a gas tank for each one. Right? You understand? Everything it is interconnected to everything you do in your life right now. Right?
Yeah,
and because it's interconnected to everything you do in your life right now, 2 things are going to happen. It's either going to inflow or outflow. So you decide for yourself whether you want to control the inflow and outflow, or you just live a life, brother, and make the world back up.
Yeah, because it's just a tool. You know? It's a tool, and that tool amplifies your actions. So if you did be a man who sell fruits, and you say, yo, instead of a knife, we need a cutlass for them coconut. To improve your quality of work, right? And then you're going to end up getting more revenue. But no, for the man who have evil intentions, I'm going to stop using knife because a machete can dice up a man properly.
You're right.
So 2 separate actions, but it just 2 separate actions, same tool, but it just amplify what you were.
then the problem isn't the tool, it's the user.
Exactly. Are the user end of the day?
And that's the thing. People attach this evilness to money.
Mm-hmm.
The money itself, the tool, and not to the user.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And I think that is where the disparity comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't mind hearing and respecting your perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
That money is evil and whatever. But at the end of the day, it makes the world go round, regardless of whether you like it or not.
And you are going to use it what you need it for.
You have to use it. It is the medium of exchange that is accepted.
Exactly.
Around the world. So going into that now.
I kind of understand why some people have different views on this whole careers thing, because it's a moral standpoint. Some people are against smoking and some people have no problem with it at the end of the day. But I it's hard to say sometimes, but I am not a moral investor. And that is just the way how I invest. Some people invest with feelings and morals. I invest based if it goes green, it's good. If it green meaning money, it's good. That's how I invest.
So you're more of a fundamental investor. You look at the balance sheet. You're looking at the cash flows. You're seeing how the company is performing, whether it's a balance sheet. Looking at the current ratio.
Yeah, man. And sometimes not even go that deep. Like once you just start, it's good. So like investing 101, but it's good to know all of those, know the jargons, know the formulas, know the ratios, know the definitions, know how to read a balance sheet, know when to apply ratios. It's good to know that. But when you reach to a certain point, I am no means a great investor. But once you can see how other investors are behaving, I mean, I don't have to have a term for it, behavioral or social investing. If you can see what investors are interested in before it reaches saturation, before everybody wants it. But if you can look at it and know, that I can this thing as lucrative. I watch people and based on people's reaction, that's how I make investment.
So you're more of a sentiment-based investor?
If that's a word that I can use, then I would say that, but not too deep as it pertains to like careers now when people have different.
But I mean, here's the thing with that now, because that is highly speculative, So people can look on that, and of course that incurs, every investment has risk. But especially when you're investing based on sentiment. It kind of amplifies the risk. Now you might become very comfortable with taking that risk because it's it has worked for you.
Exactly.
Right. But at the same time, everybody needs to be exposed to different forms or type of investing. You understand? And find their fit. So you found your fit with this method now. It's working for you.
Yeah, man.
So my suggestion, people, we do not give financial advice. We're not financial advisors. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only. All right. So you have to find your fit. You have to find what works for you in the investing world. As you said, by no means am I a great investor, but being exposed to the markets, learning about the markets, and trying to hone the skill of stock investing, trading.
That's step one. That is step one. Get your foundation good, not because I see 20 people investing in Wisync that I'm going to say, Wisync are good enough. Not because I see Hustlehouseja investing in a certain stock, I am going to do it. I would say, there must be a reason that they are investing in it. Let me do my research.
Right. So that's how you make your decisions or plan to make your decisions.
Exactly.
Okay. Great.
In what other ways would you diversify?
Let's.
So go to the question there. Which other ways I would diversify right now?
Yeah.
All right. So I have stocks already. I have the YouTube. So that's basically I see a new term the other day, and I love that term. That's digital real estate. That's
Oh,
basically
Yes.
that's basically
Say-
that's basically having your, you call it now, your flag on various platforms. So right now my platform is going to be YouTube. That's where I spend most of my time. That's where I try to learn the algorithm as best as possible. Not so much Instagram. I want to go on other platforms. So as right now, stocks and social media is where I diversify. I am looking into going into real estate, and I am looking into Airbnb arbitrage, if you guys know that term.
Yeah.
But
Just hold on. Just for the people that don't understand what it is, just give us a brief explanation.
Okay, so Airbnb arbitrage. If you guys know Airbnb, it's a house sharing platform, and Airbnb arbitrage is basically you renting a household or renting a piece of real estate, so a room, anything that people can stay. So you rent it from a renter, and then you host that space on Airbnb. So scenario would be that I see a place in Kingston renting for $1,000 US a month. Nice apartment there, $1,000 US a month. And I go on Airbnb and rent it for $100 a night. That's $3,000 roughly for a 30-day month. That's $3,000 for the month. Then I would just subtract my rent, my utilities and everything. Roughly, I would have a profit of around 1,500.
Okay. So basically what you're doing is renting from a renter and then renting it after that.
And renting it after that without actually owning the real estate.
Right. So you have a base cost, which is the rent and utilities, right? Then you mark up the cost on Airbnb depending on the amount of visitors or amount of people that potentially could rent that particular piece of real estate.
Yeah, man.
So you make a profit between those two prices. That's actually a good strategy.
It's a good strategy, but at the same time, I don't have any skin in the game yet, but you can see it already. Like, know your market, know your climate, which is the virus climate right now. Because I'm not sure if we can say the word, because we're not sure if YouTube ever want to put the ads up about get a job on them thing there. So
probably I gonna do it.
So that's a thing, know your climate. But if that don't work out, or if that's a thing I do on the side, I'm also trying to look into rental, trying to get a place of residence and do some conversion in it and rent, become a landlord. So I want to go into the real estate space, bad.
So earlier you mentioned, so on the channel, I see that you have some real estate videos up. Is it a case that you have that experience already, or is it a case that you're working on gaining the experience and then sharing knowledge you already have to the audience?
You see this, the real estate videos? That's me basically learning.
Okay.
That's me saying, all right, how can I leverage myself learning and monetize it? So I am monetizing myself learning, and hopefully that knowledge will also be profitable in the future. Being that I can apply it myself to get properties for myself.
Okay. So winding down now, what does your investment portfolio consist of? Like, what are the asset classes currently? Is it just stocks? Is it cryptocurrency? NFTs? Where is majority of you? Not asking specifically for the portfolio, just the asset classes that they consist.
Well, so for anybody who wants to see my exact portfolio breakdown, just company channel. I have that video. But at the same time, all right, let me just come clean about this one. So I did the NFT video. So Usain Bolt should make one, and I still think that he should make an NFT. I don't have any NFTs I don't invest in NFTs because that was just me studying, learning the space. And I don't have that big of a disposable income to be spread so thin. So I don't invest in NFTs. As it pertains to cryptocurrencies, I have I would say a couple thousand, but the interest brought it up to a couple thousand US dollars, not much, around maybe $2,000 in cryptocurrencies. So like Bitcoin, think about 30% Bitcoin, 50% Ethereum, and then 20% to the moon coin, the Dogecoin. So I have to play like a speculation with crypto. Because honestly, crypto is something that I can't just put on pen to paper and draw a map and put expectations and calculation. Like crypto don't work like that, yo. Crypto is a use case scenario. If you see people are using it, that's the only thing that's the only way I think you can invest in crypto. So that's my crypto investment. Okay. And then stocks, as you know, invest in the Jamaican market. So I have financial, manufacturing, and real estate stocks.
What's your favorite sector?
Favorite sector so far? Well, it has to be financial, banking, and manufacturing.
Okay, so that's where you made most of your gains?
Yes.
Okay.
And careers and the GMB preference here just give me a nice thing since months. So so that's a bright side to keep in those stocks. Like I would sell other stocks as soon as they profit, but I am not going to sell careers anytime soon. And that GMB preference here, I'm going to milk it for all it's worth.
Right. So and that real estate, the real estate companies, which ones do you hold?
So, all right, you know that First Rock is a real estate investment holding company. So it's not like they're entirely a REIT. They acquire real estate and they have it in their portfolio. And they use it to generate profits. But so it's not like they are a REIT where, because REIT and holdings company are basically similar in the fact that they own real estate, but what makes them different is their payout, their return on investment. That's their differentiating factor.
First Rock is in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Sure, if you saw the news lately, they have a debacle on their hands. The short story is that they have to move 500 million units on that stock. Now, as an investor of First Rock, looking on that and seeing those issues come up, what is your sentiment now on First Rock? Is it a case that, all right, this is happening, I'm going to sell? Or is it a case where, all right, this is just one hiccup. First Rock is a startup, started in March 2019. So I'm going to give it time, I'm going to hold it. Or is it that the volatility on the stock is too much and you're going to let it go?
All right, so two things that are going to happen to an investor who have First Rock. Is either they buy more shares because it's at a bargain, no, or they liquidate some of their cash in First Rock to a point that they feel comfortable having that amount of money invested. So I'm going to go with the latter. I already took some money out because I didn't invest at IPO. I invested when their price was around $13. And then sold some when they were at $16.
Okay.
So the that I have in First Rock now, I am comfortable watching that fluctuate.
Okay. So you've accepted the risk.
I've accepted the risk.
Which are important.
Okay, for the remaining portion. That's good. I just hope that whatever is happening with First Rock, I hope that it gets resolved quickly for their sake. But Demetress, winding down now, it has been another stunner of an episode. And usually, just for a bit of transparency, with Hustlehouseja. We always try to go above and beyond and try to find Fortune 500 CEOs or guests, but I find that the most genuine episodes are with individuals like yourself, right? You're very clear upfront with the information. You're accepting of your flaws, right? Usually ego gets in the way of doing that, and you seem like a very self-aware gentleman. You're doing your society.
Yeah,
You're
man,
doing
well
your
done, man. So cool.
Yeah, man, you're doing your society well, providing content that is beneficial to all age groups, right? And having you on this platform says a lot. I do wish you all the best myself. I hope that we can actually continue our conversations after this podcast, and get to a level where we can start even investing jointly or whatever the case may be. But having these connections like this with like-minded individuals, it really, especially for me, I'm sure Kamari is the same as well. It kind of sparks a little switch in your head that says, all right, there are more people like me who do this, so I should continue.
Yeah, man.
To keep the connection, right, and to keep going forward. What do you think, Kamari?
Yeah, man. This right here, what we're doing, networking. I will know that this link now. I can be just email him, check up on the progress. As I said, I can maybe invest, see something that's profitable in the future and say, what is the capital? What you say, you want to get in on this? We can go from there.
Definitely. So Demetress, just one last thing. I don't know if you want to share a word of advice to just based on where you are in life now. For those people who
for the future millionaires and billionaires,
right, and even yourself as well. 22-year-old Demetress. I'm sure there's a lot of them out there who have no idea what the stock market can do. The paradigm switch hasn't happened yet. You might be that motivating factor to actually switch the mindset. So what would you say to those persons listening on right now?
All I can say, I'm talking to younger Demetress here. If you find yourself doing something that feels effortless to you and it doesn't feel like you're working, then zone in on that one thing. Become a master of it and then monetize it. Don't follow the crowd and try to do 1,000,000,001 things and stretch yourself too thin. I did that and it didn't work out and it kind of give you a late start. But focus on one thing. Become a master at it. Don't let nobody deter you and tell you that that one thing now work out. Become a master at it and monetize it, and you will be good in your life.
All right, word from the wise, word from the wise. So thank you very much again, Mr. Demetress Fairman. Guys, again, we're going to be putting his YouTube channel link in the description below. Check it out, especially for those who want to start investing. That dividend investing seems to be a like of this. So if you want to get paid quarterly or semi-quarterly,
monthly, even monthly,
yeah. or even
preferred share is something else. I know about it.
Yeah, man, every month, man, nice, man.
Yeah.
Demetress Fairman on YouTube, guys. What's IG?
See, I'm Demetress Fairman. Tell you, I'm a boring guy. Demetress Fairman. So just check me out. The only thing I different on it was Twitter, and it is Demi Tips, but Demetress Fairman, you can find me on all socials.
All right, great. So closing out this show again, thank you for watching. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Demetress, again, for coming on to the podcast. And definitely tune into our next episode. All right. Peace,
Appreciate your
everybody.
time.
All right, big up on
All right.
yourself.
Yeah, man. Bless up, G.
All right, good.